Welcome everyone to this week's edition of Unrooted Baseball Style, and my guest is none other than senior left-hander on the baseball team, Mack Boone. Mack, how you doing?
Good, thanks for having me, Brian.
Oh, anytime. Glad you could join us here for this one. Let's start off with talking a little bit about last week. Coach McKinley was the guest in the first episode, and he kind of threw you under the bus a little bit. He was talking about the story your freshman year when he took your passport on the way back from Canada. I have to say, that was probably one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. Did you ever get him back for that?
Oh, of course. It's kind of been an ongoing thing, back and forth. Two things that come to mind. So he sent me on a lunch run. I had to buy the team lunch, and he gave me his credit card. And I remember I got here and I set the lunch up or whatever, and he never asked me for his credit card back, and I forgot to give it back to him. So then after the game, he was like, hey Mac, did you ever give me my you gave me my credit card? And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, I gave it back to you. And just watch him kind of freak out a little bit, knowing that the credit card was in my wallet, in my bag. And then I ended up giving it back to him. And then some of the guys last semester, we would meet in the classroom before practice, and we'd write on the whiteboard like 5 names, like freshmen or like new guys, like come see me, put Jake under it. So before practice, before the classroom session, they would come in, they would see their name, they would kind of freak out, and they would go to Jake like, oh hey Skip, you want to talk to me? And he's like, no. And then another guy would come in a couple minutes later. So he was just rattled for that, just 5 guys coming up, and he comes in, he's like, why does everyone want to talk to me? And then he sees the whiteboard and he chuckles and goes along with it. So
that's the kind of relationship that you two have.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, we have a great relationship.
Now you're an outgoing guy, as everyone can tell, when it comes to being around the team and off the field, but when you're on the mound, you become a completely different person. I traveled with the team to Westmont last year for the baseball playoffs, and Matt got to start the opening game of that tournament, and let me tell you, it was a pleasure to watch you from the dugout. Tell me your mindset when you get into a game. What's that all about?
Well, I'm a really passionate guy. I hate losing, super competitive, so it kind of just takes its own form, and when I get out there on the mound, it's just kind of like a you versus me, and I get really competitive, and it kind of becomes like a battle. And when I was a kid, I grew up watching guys like Randy Johnson, and they kind of pitched with that kind of passion and that intensity, and it just kind of became part of my game, and it's just kind of something I do. I just get really intense, and the mindsets just go out there and win the war.
You've also gone through multiple looks with your locks, and I'm talking about your hair. As you can tell, the hair is flowing on him right now. He's got those long, luscious senior locks. What happened the one year you decided to keep it short?
I mean, yeah, first year, long hair, I got some flack for some of the guys. Came back for my sophomore year, and most of the guys kind of put it in the back of my head, hey, we'll buy you a haircut, we need to get you a haircut, we'll pay for it.
Stop looking like a hobo.
Yeah, I know, pretty much. And they kind of said, oh, spring break would be a great time to get a haircut, fresh start, blah blah. And next thing I know, spring break rolls around, and me and 5 of the teammates were going to some fancy salon, going the whole 9 yards, massage, shampoo, conditioner. Next thing I know, short hair. I started pitching really well, so I could just kind of continue the trend, short hair. Summer goes around, went to Humboldt, pitched really well, so I kept the hair short. And then last year, me and some of the guys decided to grow our beards out, and I was like, I'm not going to cut my beard, I'm not going to cut my hair, let the hair go, and here we are, and I couldn't be happier that it's back. Let it flow, and here we are.
So what other superstitions do you have? As a pitcher, I'm sure you got quite a few.
Oh, I have so many superstitions. I have a shirt that my dad wore when he was 10, and it has Joe Montana on it, and I put my glove on top of it in my room underneath my Buddha that I have. And I actually bring my Buddha on the road and put it in my hotel room. Really superstitious guy, so yeah, I got a lot of those.
So would you say you have the best superstitions out of everyone on the team?
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
Last year you threw a career high in innings over the course of the season, and as I mentioned, you got to start that playoff game against Biola. What did that mean to you, getting to start out the playoffs as the pitcher on the mound?
Oh, it means a lot. You are part of this team. You just want to help this team win, and you always want to start the big game. It's what you want to do. It's what you work towards. Everyone wants to do it, and when your coach instills that confidence in you and gives you that ball for that big game, and the team's got your back, it means a lot, and it's a lot of fun. Playoff games they're incredible experience. Everything's heightened, the intensity, and all the fans, and it was a great experience being a part of that. It's super fun to pitch in those type of games. So yeah, it definitely meant a lot.
Now we transition into this year. The first series of the year was up in Reading. It resulted in a couple of wins for you guys. You beat Simpson in a doubleheader after dropping the opener against Corbin. How important was it for you guys to bounce back with a doubleheader sweep on Sunday after losing the opener Saturday?
Oh, I mean, it was huge. Baseball is definitely games of ups and downs, and you don't want the downs to go too long, and it would have been very easy to kind of let that tough loss to open up the year kind of roll into Sunday, and next thing you know, we're coming back from Reading 0-3. So it was very nice to see the team kind of bounce back the way we did, flush that game, and it just showed the resilience that we have and all the core guys that we have and who we are as a team. We're able to, you know, come back from a tough loss like that. And I think Jake said it perfectly. He brought us up after game one, said, hey, you know, we did some things great, we did some other things not so great. You know, some things went our way, some things didn't go our way. Let's no one get on the negative train. There's no point to get on the negative train. It's game one, long season. So, you know, let's just flush it and come back and take two tomorrow. And, you know, as baseball, it's really, you know, you have to have that short-term memory. And so it was really nice to kind of flush that first game and get back out there and get two tough W's, because on the road it's tough to win no matter where you are. So
yeah, absolutely. Now you got on the mound yourself. You pitched a couple innings in the finale against Simpson where you guys won 12-3, and you pitched 2 scoreless innings in that ball game. What was your approach on the mound coming in with such a big lead, and how does that differ for you versus if you're coming into a tie ball game, if at all, if it differs?
Well, I think our approach stays the same no matter what the situation. I mean, we preach you want to come in, you want to attack hitters, compete, and throw strikes. And with a big lead, you especially want to fill up the zone. You want to make your defense make plays. You want to keep the tempo of the game up and not slow the game down by walking hitters and giving the other team momentum. You want to keep the momentum on your side. And when we're scoring runs like we are and we're mashing hits and we're rolling, you just want to give the bats to the hitters as fast as you can. You want to get out there, you want to get 3 outs, get back in the dugout and keep things rolling. So, I mean, it doesn't really change a whole lot. On the flip side, I mean, when you got a big lead, you really got to take advantage of that. You want to, you know, work on things, you know, work on your game, you know, maybe throw a couple pitches that you don't throw normally. But and the game plan's still the same if it's a tight or, you know, a big game like that. So definitely just come in and throw strikes.
Yeah, now you already alluded to it. The offense continues to be the story with you guys. You had 5 home runs over the weekend and scored 28 runs in 3 games. From a pitcher standpoint, who's been the most impressive to watch so far?
Man, wow. As a whole staff, I think I thought we did very well. We competed as a staff. None of us, I think, had our A game, but we gave everything we had at the given time that we put in the game. Guys like Kevin George, I thought he showed what he could do for us this year. He's a tough competitor. Andrew Merkin, new guy, you know, Oaks debut. I thought he did really well and showed us that, you know, he can be a big time guy for us. But if I had to pick one guy, I would say Brian Ransom impressed me tremendously. I mean, he came in and he was nails. He threw all of his pitches for strikes. He attacked the hitters, and it seemed like once he went in the game, the momentum was on our side and things were just rolling, and he was flipping that slider in there. They couldn't touch his slider, and especially with him, he's a short inning guy, so him going 4 was incredible. And, you know, it's good to see Thomas Cox pitch too, but I would say Ransom did a phenomenal job.
4 innings and 8 strikeouts for a guy who, as you said, typically doesn't go 4 innings. That's mighty impressive. One defining characteristic about Menlo baseball is how loose the teams appear to be. Who helps create that laid-back culture, and what kind of impact does that have on the team?
Oh, it starts from the top. I mean, as you know, Jake McKinley is a very laid-back guy, and he gives the players freedom, and he lets us do things our way and lets us be who we are. You know, he doesn't restrict us. So I think it creates just the incredible culture we have here, and the unique thing that he's built the last 4 years, and it's definitely translated to our success on the field, because we definitely are a loose, laid-back team, and we play our best baseball when we're having fun, and we're not when we're uptight and, you know, all tense. Because, I mean, if you got to take it, baseball is a kid's game, you know, it's a kid's game, and we're still playing it, you know. So, I mean, we're playing it because we love to play it, and it's what we love to do, and we have fun doing it. So him allowing us to you know, be laid back and have fun playing this game, I mean, it just, our performance on the field really just skyrockets, and it's showed tremendously the last 4 years with him being here.
Now, you're one of the 15 seniors on this team. Hard to believe there's that many, and one of 6 4-year members of this Oaks program. How does the team look towards you 6 as leaders?
Well, with any good team, I mean, the players are supposed to police themselves. The coaches only can do so much. So we got to teach the new guys and the freshmen the ropes and show them how we go about business on and off the field and what the expectation is. On good teams, I believe the players dictate on what kind of team we want to be. Do we want to underachieve? Do we want to be an average team, finish middle of the conference, or do we want to win, a national championship? And that's the end goal. So for us seniors and the guys who've been here the longest, it's our job to be role models and show these new guys the way we take care of business as Menlo Oaks baseball players, and to get us to the end goal, which is a national championship, and just to teach them everything that we do every day, day in and day out, is to lead to that national championship. And so it's the players' responsibility to kind of keep this upward trend the program's going and keep winning ball games. And so I think the new guys definitely look to the seniors, the guys who've been here the longest, on like what to do and how to go about your business, and just put your extra work in and take care of business on and off the field.
Yeah, well said. Now we're going to transition into the final segment of the show, one of my favorites. It's called Brownie Bites. 3 rapid fire random questions. You got to answer them truthfully and explain as necessary. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, first question. Who is the worst teammate to room with on a road trip, and why?
Wow. All right. I want to say no comment, but I'll go along with the Brownie Bites, and not from personal experience, but from stories I've heard, I'm gonna have to go with Jason Alexander. I've heard he snores like an absolute lion. Like it is like a little mini rock concert in that little hotel room, especially because this last couple of weeks he's been sick, so he yells in his sleep. And so, I would have to say Jason, because I do love my sleep, and I don't know if I could room with him with being such a big snorer that he is.
Does it take silence for you to fall asleep?
I do. I could sleep through a hurricane, but I do like my silence. I did room with Dean Aliamis this last road trip, and he liked to sleep with the TV on, which was a little weird for me, but I fell asleep pretty fine. So.
Question number 2: Who is the best actor on the team, and why?
That's a tough one. A lot of characters on this team. I would have to go with Eddie Sanchez. Kind of a running joke on the team. We call him the Eddie Show. He's literally like a TV show. It's like watching a reality TV show. He is just such a character. He's hilarious. He's always putting on a show, performing. He's really good at impersonations. He's super funny. He's a big memes guy. He's always throwing memes in our group chat, and everyone's just dying. So it's definitely the Eddie Show. I would have to say he's the biggest actor on the team for sure.
And then question number 3: Of all the school mascots in the GSAC, which one would win in a fight?
Oh, Oaks for sure. Absolutely. Let your Oaks hang. No doubt about it. Oaks would win for sure.
So you got Okie the Acorn taking down Lions.
Oh, 100%.
Warriors.
My money's on Okie, absolutely.
He's got that war face on,
He does.
I would say that's pretty intimidating if you're going up against a lion. I don't know if the lion would want to stand
I think
up
the lion's friendly. It's a zoo lion.
Yeah, it probably is. Well said. All right, Mac, well, thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it. And don't forget that baseball's got a series coming up this weekend. It's Friday and Saturday. It's going to be offsite at Ohlone College because, as you can tell with the baseball field behind us, there's no dugouts. Cartan Field, as we heard from Jake McKinley, is undergoing renovations, so the games early on in the schedule will be offsite. So Friday and Saturday, offsite at Ohlone College in Fremont, 11:30 doubleheader against Shepherd on Friday, and the Shepherd University again on Saturday at 11 o'clock a.m. Then also a bonus home game on Tuesday of next week as well. Again, location for that one is undecided at this moment. Well, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. I am Brian Brownfield, and we'll see you right here again next week when Mack Boone will select the next participant to be on Baseball Unrooted. Take care, everyone.